What up, everybody? Grand Rising. Grand Rising. Up in the morning. Ah, man. Got my mushroom coffee. Got some things to talk about. I'm hearing over the internet and the radio waves. Apologies are going around. Large number of women are apologizing to black men in regarding this past president election season. Shout out to this queen here, uh, Chaz Charday or Charday, if I'm pronouncing it right. Her first name Cheze, last name Charde apostrophe E. Go to that sister's channel. Show her some love. She's doing amazing things. I like it. This video was sent to me. Said, Big Truck, you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. Heard what has to be said, and I want to share it with y'all. So without further ado, grab your shoulder pads, grab your helmet, and let's get this work.
I woke up this morning and it was heavy on my heart that I owe my brothers an apology. The news created story after story that essentially our brothers were deserting us and that they were turning towards Trump and going to vote for Trump in higher numbers than ever seen before, which was a lie. Trump pulled the same number of black men as he did his last election. I believed all the stories. I got wrapped up in the hype. And you know why that's so crazy? Because I, Randy B, am the one who was always talking about how the media tries to manipulate us, how the media always shows the negativity within the black community. And I'm the one who knows exactly how they manipulate us to create separation between us. But I fell for it. And I became upset. And I did my little think pieces. I think I was always respectful. I always try to be respectful. But I came for y'all. I was upset. I was hurt. Because, with my brothers, I take it personally. I take it personally. I got too much love there not to take it personally. And I was wrong. And I am sorry that I got.
To the men out there, to the black men out there, do you accept her apology? Let me know in the comment section. Do you accept her apology? I'm glad that a large number of women are starting to see that it was never about race. It was never about gender. It was about policy. And not only about policy, but a large number of men, black men, and a handful of black women as well, was tired of the whole Democratic Party and how the Democrats act, and treat others, meaning us. And they couldn't stand for it no more. They got tired of it. Remember back when you were in high school, you were told to vote Democrat, but you didn't know why? And as you got older, you begin to see. It goes back to Lyndon B. Jordan when he said, I would have these N-words voting Democrat for 200 years. And that weighs a lot. It wasn't a fact of a black woman, quote unquote, because we already know who Kamala Harris is not, but it wasn't about seeing a woman in power. It had nothing to do with that. And let this be a lesson to a large number of black women, not to just jump the gun. Find out what the deal is. What do I always say on my show? You have to be willing to look into things instead of looking at things. Let's continue.
I'm wrapped up, that I trusted mainstream media, who has never, for the most part, reflected us in a good light or has ever done anything or written stories that unite us, for the most part. So I am sorry, and that's on me, and I will be more careful in the future. Black men, for the most part, stood by us. Are there the outliers? There's always going to be. But for the most part, brothers voted for us. And many are saying that they were voting in support of our reproductive rights, us as women, and they were voting for a Black woman. May this election remind us of how united Black people are. We may disagree all the time about things because we're family, and families do that. But when it's time to unite and come through, we come through.
But also allow this to be a lesson to trust man. Men are logic. And the way that a large number of Black women behaved was unprofessional, and it was sad. The things that they said towards Black men were awful, disrespectful, hurtful, nasty, disgusting. But yet, you're not looking at the outcome of it. Kamala Harris is in Hawaii, chilling, laughing at all of you. Literally, laughing at all of you. And like, damn, I got these women all worked up and riled up while she in Hawaii sipping on Moscato, chilling, living her best life while y'all miserable gang banging on men. I told y'all in the beginning, I told y'all when I started covering this, the best is yet to come. What's going on behind the scenes that they're not telling us? But what's in the dark's gonna come to light. Division. Division among Black men and Black women. Take it back to Adam and Eve. The serpent knew who to manipulate first. The serpent knew who to come at. The woman. The woman is easy to be manipulated. And this is what we see. And then the downfall of it. And then when the smoke clears, it takes a real one. Y'all talking about y'all boss chicks, y'all a boss. Take accountability. This woman right here, she's a boss. She came back and said, I apologize. I was led, I followed what the social media, the news media said, and I just came from in, and you know what? I'm wrong. I am wrong, because at the end of the day, we all need each other. Get that narrative out of your mind. I don't need no man. I don't need no man. Get that shit off your mind. You do need a man. When have you heard a man talking about, I don't need no woman, I don't need no woman? That sounds foolish as I don't know what. As much shade as y'all threw on Black men, did you ever hear about Black men retaliating, coming back? Nope. Black men were quiet. They made they move. They showed you by actions. This is the reason why we voted for Trump. It had nothing to do with gender. Y'all made it about gender. Y'all made it about race. Man didn't. Man made it about policies. Let's continue.
We showed up for each other. We are a team. I don't want us to focus so much on how we're not good or the dissension between the two of us, between Black men and Black women. really would like for this to be a time of healing for all of us. Because if we don't have each other, we don't have nothing. If we didn't learn nothing about this election, we need to have learned that. And so thank you, Black men, for standing by us. I'm sorry. And I hope that we continue to build upon this. We use this as a moment to get even stronger.
This should be a time of conversation. A conversation needs to be had between Black men and Black women. An open door, open-minded conversation with no egos, nobody getting in their feelings and their emotions, but really, really have a full-grown sit-down conversation. It needs to be had. Men need to understand where women are coming from. Women need to understand where men are coming from. And I believe that when you begin to have conversations like that, now you're getting down to the meat and bones of it. It's not about taking shots. You ain't got to disrespect nobody. It's having a respectful conversation, saying this is what we can do better. Now, when it comes to modern feminists, that's a different type of conversation that needs to be had. But overall, we have to look at it for what it is. Men are very important in this world. Women are very important in this world. Both are very important in this world. And I have to go back to what I said before. It was never about gender. It was never about race. It was about policies. But when you look at the division and you look at what Kamala Harris started, it's almost like she started mess, then she went to Hawaii. Now y'all deal with that yourself. Is that messed up? Hell yeah, that's messed up. Once again, the serpent, go back to Adam and Eve. The serpent knew who to get at first, the woman. And that's exactly what he did. He came at y'all women so hard and so swift and had y'all minds warped out. Y'all was on social media crashing the fuck out. And it wasn't even that damn serious. Losing relationships, not going over to the family's house for the holidays. Like, really? Over a fucking vote? If you don't vote for Kamala Harris, you hate your mother, you hate all women. Who said that? Y'all just jumped the gun and came full force throwing flame on men. Black men and men in general. Don't matter what the color of your skin is. Black man, white man, Hispanic man, Asian man, y'all came and y'all threw shame and shade and flame on men. All that feminist shit, that needs to come to an end. And that day's gonna come too. Because Trump ain't playing that shit. The ABC people and the transgender, be what you be, do what you do. Trump ain't playing that. You already see the laws that he has already set in stone. Well, Trump is a racist. How is Trump a racist? And he just hired an ex-NFL player, which is a brother, for the urban development. Run tell that. If Trump was a racist during his rally, why did he have Miss Montgomery from Atlanta, Georgia, from Clark University, on panel with him? I mean, help me make it make sense. But when you see how the news media twist things, this was all designed. The Democratic Party knew what they were doing when they was twisting the narratives to disrespect and discredit Trump's character. Because they were afraid what Trump was about to do, what he's about to do right now. He's about to shut all their asses down. Now you got Elon Musk is going to buy What is it? MS News. He's he, Elon Musk buy that. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Democrats are shaking in their boots right now. Like I said, I support whoever you vote for, but I'm rocking with the men on this one, and I'm rocking with the women that voted for Trump on this one because they didn't look at gender; they looked at policies. When Trump was in office last time, shit ran smooth. You look at the difference between when Trump was in office till now. You see the fucking difference. There is a difference. We are worse. And if Kamala Harris was to become president, look, this country is already the laughing stock. We'll be more of a laughing stock. To run this country like a business, which you're supposed to do, that's more sufficient. I just want to throw that out there and make those talking points because a large number of individuals got it all wrong. And then they took it to social media and start capping on people. Know what you're talking about before you go on social media and start capping on people. Know why they voted for who they voted for. And if a person didn't vote, I'm quite sure that person has their reasons why they didn't vote. If a person voted independent, that person may have their reasons why they voted independent. That's their choice, that's their right. And you have to respect that.
My love to all of you out there. We need each other.
Black men and Black women have always been more politically aligned than anyone else.
Now I want y'all to take a good look at this right here. Like for real, for real. Keep your damn mouth shut. Walk it how you talk it. There's proof right here.
And it's so crazy that when it comes to the election season, Black men are thrown under the bus consistently when nobody has sticked together more consistently in the Black community than men and women themselves. When you look at the voting patterns, when you understand how much Black men and Black women vote on the left, vote for the Democrats. It's been happening for decades. So it's literally insane. It is the definition of insane to choose the most liberal-minded, I guess, leftist, quote-unquote, progressive men out there, which is Black men, and to consistently throw them under the bus as if they...
I'm going to go a step further. Black men get thrown under the bus for the utmost stupidest shit ever. And pettiest. Like for real, for real. And is always looking for someone to blame. This presidential election season, a large number of women showed their ass of who they really are and showed that they do not respect men. They showed their ass. I'm seeing the comments. I'm seeing the comments on my Instagram. I'm seeing the comments on my Twitter. I'm seeing the comments on my TikTok. I'm seeing the comments on my YouTube. I'm seeing the comments. I'm reading it, and it's like, wow, really? But now, since the smoke cleared, Kamala Harris took her trip to Hawaii. She's sipping on Bahama Mamas and eating roasted pig stuffed with rice and peas and plantains and chilling, drinking Moscato, taking bubble baths with scented candles, laughing at all of y'all. Literally, laughing at all of you. Y'all fell for the banana in the tailpipe. Y'all fell for that shit. Large number of women fell for that shit. Now, the ones that did vote for Trump, they didn't fall for it. The ones that refrained from being Democrat and start crossing over to Republican didn't fall for it. And that is really what we really saw in the black community. We noticed a big shift. This is history. A large number of black men and black women, y'all should congratulate yourselves. Y'all should tap yourselves on the back. Y'all created history. The first time so many Democrats started voting Republican. And the Democrats didn't know how to handle that.
Are like these misogynistic, backdated, trying to oppose men. It's like that's actually the opposite of who they are. I mean, black men have been supporting feminism since day one, partially because they saw it as deeply connected to the struggle for liberation. And even up until today, like it, they've always come out in numbers, and this time was no different, as she said. The issue, though, that I think that she touches upon is ultimately how we allow the government and evil entities to come in and to destroy us from the inside by spreading.
Most definitely. When you have the black political puppets, black celebrity political puppets, as Malcolm X always said, you have them come out, and because those black celebrities have a large following, you know, try to gain the votes. Now you see how important the black votes really are, especially the black men's votes really are. And this time around, a large number of black men and women got tired. They got tired of the fuckery with the Democrat Party. So they started shifting. They opt out and start switching to Republican. I mean, if you look at the map now, there's so many red states now. How long? When is it? When do you have enough? When have you had enough to say, man, enough is enough? I'm tired of the whole rigmarole. I'm tired of the whole foolery. Even the Democratic Party showed you what they really thought about you. Just look. I mean, they even had to come out with Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. Come on now. I want to talk to the black men. Really think about it. And a large number of black men felt that that was a slap in the face. That was disrespect right there. It's not what you say, but it's how you say what you say.
Lies about who we are, about what we do, oftentimes based upon untruths, or oftentimes just based upon things that are blown out of proportion. This has been the strategy of the black community in America since day one. Break it down from one end. Sow seeds of distrust, sow seeds of disloyalty, sow seeds of division. And at that point, the government doesn't have to do anything. The white man doesn't have to come do anything. It self implodes. And that is what I think this one little story, this one little video is speaking to, quite frankly, a strategy that has been happening in the black community for quite some time, and we keep on falling for it. And here's the thing about it. I know many of you guys who follow me, many of you guys voted for Trump, many of you guys are actually Trump supporters. And I've talked to black men specifically who do that. And I have not met one black man who supported for Trump who said, oh, it's because they don't want a woman in office. That's just not really a thing. Like I said, black men were even voting for Hillary Clinton when white women weren't.
That is so true. Because the men and women that I spoke to, and I'm so thankful and grateful for the two people that chimed in this morning. Peace and love and respect to the both of you. The individuals that I've spoken to, they never said anything about race, about gender. They spoke solely on policy. Don't you know the big homeless crisis is going on right now? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the child care that's going on right now. for the single mothers that have children, even single fathers that have children. Child care is through the roof. But Trump has something in store for that. He has something in store for the homeless population that's going on. So these are real policies and real things that are set in stone. The education system. Oh, Trump is going to cut the education system out. No, he's going to revamp the education system. How would you feel your child going to school and there's a teacher of the ABC community try to turn out your child? You're not going to let that happen. What about the teachers that are real passionate about teaching? They don't even get a second look. But you got some teachers that teach for a paycheck. No, put the teachers in the classrooms that are passionate about teaching, that love what they do. What about the school lunches for the kids? Have more healthier lunches and healthier snacks and stuff for the kids. When you go to other countries and you go to other places, look how their school system work. Don't you know in Japan they don't have no janitor? The kids clean up their classrooms. One of the things that the many things of the Japanese culture is they teach them at a young age how to respect your elders, how to be respectful, how to be kind. They teach them that. You start taking exams and stuff when you're of age. But when you come to school, you come to class, you're going to get taught the basics. We're going to groom you while you're young. How to clean. How to be respectful. How to be kind. Man, imagine if they implement a lot of those things in the school systems here in the American country. Okay, I'm gonna let that marinate.
That's not really an issue because Black men are pretty much used to a matriarchy or gynocracy, depending on how you see it. Like many of them who grew up with moms running the environment, like that's not really an issue. So the ones who actually did vote for Trump, the ones that I actually have spoke with, many of them, they did it for other reasons. Some of them feeling like the Democrats just actively disrespected them and they were just against it. But not one man that I spoke with who voted for Trump actually did it because they didn't like Black women. And that's another lie that I think is really being promoted out there. Like if a Black man did vote for Trump, it's because, oh, he's misogynistic and he just hates Black women and he just wants to belittle them and be more like white men. And I'm like, that's not, if you actually talk to them, that's really not it at all. And so again, that is another lie that we see. I think that it just really isn't helpful or useful. And at the end of the day, all it does is create a region for Black folks not get along. So I think it's about time that we really have to remind ourselves that we can't put much trust in the media. It has never had a strong history of promoting anything positive, anything uplifting, or anything constructive in the Black.
The media has always lied. The media has always spun the narratives. There was so much narrative spent on Donald Trump. I was like, wow. But see, I already knew the truth. And it's the truth that they don't share. That when you do your research, you will discover. But they paint this bad negative picture of Donald Trump. And it's like, no, that's not even true. Large number believed it, some didn't. You have to be careful about who you listen to in the season of your life. You have to be careful. The news media, they deceive you. They do more deceiving than I don't know what. To get y'all all riled up and all worked up. Get y'all to panicking. You got to look into things instead of looking at things.
Community. Yeah, we see Black faces. Yeah, we see Black people and positions of power, but many of those actors or actresses complained about not being paid right, complained about getting passed up for the role, complained about getting passed up for the Grammys. So Black people, even in the industry, aren't treated right. And then oftentimes, like, how often do we see Black families working together in a more quote unquote traditional family setting, and there's not some weird agenda behind it? Like, you just...
And that's the thing right there that they have a problem with. Strong Black families, strong Black households. The other side don't want to see that. Because when you have a strong Black foundation, that's very powerful. And the other side don't want to see that. That's why the other side creates so much division. They know the men ain't gonna believe it, the men ain't gonna follow it, but the women will, the Black women will. Look, let's do this. Let's do that. That way we don't have to keep seeing Black babies born into this world. We can stop that. Yeah. So let's get a large number of the Black women to turn on Black men. Let's get a large number of the Black women to disrespect Black men and hate Black men to the point where they don't want to date them, sleep with them, marry them. Let's create chaos within the Black community. And we're going to start it with the Black woman. We can't get to the Black man because the Black men going to sniff us out. The Black men going to put 2 and 2 together and call us out. But the Black woman won't. We can manipulate the Black woman enough, and before she figures us out, the damage is already done. Tell me I ain't lying. Come on.
You don't really see that reflected back. And so we know the media has never really been for us in that regard. It wasn't set up for us. Quite frankly, the media it's ran by evil entities. And some of these channels, some of these different media sources literally tap into dark spiritual powers to try to brainwash folks, dark spiritual powers to try to actually influence people's souls to keep them from really seeing things for what it is. It's a total distraction. And so anybody who trusts media blindly without question, that we are just a sitting duck, just to be confused, to get caught up in the drama and to miss the bigger picture of what is actually going on. So we really cannot believe what media has to say about us. And this is why I know some of you guys have talked about the importance of Black-owned media. I agree. And also the importance of supporting those who actually are doing the work, telling the stories, but their interest is to actually share the truth about what's going on in their communities because they're a part of your community, right? So we really have to stop believing what media says about us. And I'm like, for decades upon decades upon decades upon decades, we've seen who Black people, Black men and women have been voting for, and that doesn't change just overnight. This is why it's actually important to talk to Black men in your own life. And if you're a Black woman and you are not in relationship with Black men in your life, then that might actually be an area of opportunity for you to ask why.
It's like I said before, there needs to be more conversation and communication between Black men and Black women, so that there's a full understanding, overstanding. Because what's happening, there is a big disconnect within the Black community. And we cannot act like we don't see that shit. But have to be willing to sit down and have an open conversation and pinpoint the issues and respectfully talk about them. Because what we're seeing is even when it comes to the dating aspect of it, you see how a large number of Black men are checked out. You see that, you see that a large number of Black men are going their way. You see that a large number of Black women are into that 304 phase. You see a large number of women, you got to pay me in order to spend time with me. You see a large number of black women so caught up in the life of social media and what's going on and want to live that life. Know damn well they have a hard time rubbing two damn nickels together. We see that. Got nothing against passport bros. But at some point, what do? You just respectfully fall back and go another way.
If you're more persuaded by media than the actual immediate interactions in your life and the community that you're surrounded by, like if that doesn't ground you in some level, or at least give you a foundation to be able to look at these things objectively, then I think it really creates an opportunity for you to be like, well, okay, well, what's going on? Like, what have I allowed into my life? What am I basing my value system on? Am I even a place where I am safe and secure to navigate a system that has never necessarily been equitable for Black people? And in the midst of the division and the disarray and the dissension that is always going on and is always targeting the Black community, there are two agendas. The enemies of Black communities, who are influenced by demonic spirits who ultimately want to destroy and keep Black people separated and divided and conquered. And then there's ultimately what God is doing and his agenda and his desire to restore, to repair, to rebuild, to promote that which is going to be constructive.
I do believe that. I do believe that there is negative forces out there. I do believe that what Yeshua has for his people, he wants to give it to his people. But a choice has to be made. You can't say you want Yeshua to help you and to bless you, but yet you still living in the world. I take that back, doing things of the world, have affiliations with the things of the world. Let's say that. You don't get to have it both ways. You have to make a choice. At some point, you have to put away childish things. At some point, you have to grow up. At some point, you have to leave well enough alone. At some point, you have to change your mindset. At some point, you have to change the things within your life so that you can function and move differently like ever before. But it goes back to that choice, making a choice. You don't want to look back over your life and be like, damn, I lost so much time. Man, I have nothing to show for myself, for my life. Especially when your beauty starts fading away. I give you one better. When Elohim starts taking things away from you. Let's get into that one. What do you do when Elohim starts taking things away from you? Then what?
To bring Black folks, the Black community, back to their original intention in relationship with him, and then ultimately fostering a community that's going to thrive and be successful. But whatever we focus on is going to determine how we act. If we think that there's a vision, and if we focus on these lies, quite frankly, that sow seeds of discord and division, then we don't build communities, then we don't trust men, and then we go out on that path and nothing is built constructive. The enemy's agenda wins. What we focus on and what we accept as the truth really does determine our outcomes. And while there are certainly agendas out there to divide, destroy, and conquer and keep people separated, God certainly also has an agenda for black women and for the Black community. Ultimately up to us to focus on things that are going to be constructive, that are going to be useful, that are ultimately going to point us back to God's plan and will for our life and help rebuild and repair and restore communities. But note to self, ladies, don't rely upon the government to tell you about your men. Don't desert your power source, your men and your God, and the fortress, spiritual fortress that he has given you through community, because that's the quickest way to destroy your own home from within. Anyways, those are my thoughts. What do you think?
Don't allow the things of this world to dictate the moves that you make and decisions that you make. Be in control of your own life. Learn to walk on your journey the way you're supposed to walk on your journey. Excuse me. Some of us may walk on our journey alone. And some, Elohim will put certain people in your life to walk with you along your journey. But at the end of the day, after it's all said and done, you're in your journey, walking into your purpose. Know who you are and whose you are in a season of your life. Is there going to be heartache and pain? Yes. But that's character building. Sometimes we have to get down to the root of it all and go back to our past. A large number of individuals do not want to go back to their past because it's too much. It hurts too much. That's a lot of layers to peel back. But you know what? I've been through it myself, and let me tell you, it is worth it. It will make you such a better person when you do that. Because you will no longer be controlled by the things of your past. And this is what we're seeing within the Black community. Because look at the behavior of individuals. When you sit back and you watch how an individual move and you listen, they'll tell you everything you need to know. And then and only then, a decision has to be made. Do you want to continue to deal with that person, or do you want to remove yourself from that person? Choice is yours. But be who you are. Be who Elohim called you to be. Don't let nobody move you from that. Like I tell men, you're a king. And when I start going live, moving forward, I will always have a picture of some type of lion. Because the lion is the king. And you got to know who you are. You have to embrace that, and you have to walk in that. Don't think it, know it. Until then, go be the best version of yourself for many people to see. Take that with you and go be great. It's your boy Big Truck here at the King's Table. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share.